Yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's everybody feeling today? No, really, how's everybody feeling? All the way. Hey, welcome. It's a beautiful crowd out here. And I would just like to welcome you to LEAFSTYLE. Is what we try to do is building community, connecting people. It's not as complicated as it may look. We're all here. Cannabis. That's the one thing we all share. All different people, all different walks of life. But cannabis is something that we all share some sort of relationship with the plant. And we think that's a beautiful thing, and we think that community should be celebrated, supported, heard, and that's what we like to do here at LEAFSTYLE. And like I said, as I look out of here, I see a lot of new faces, right? We started in this backyard, building community, connecting with people. I see some of those faces in the audience. And a lot of those people, after they came to one of our events, one of our experiences, they wanted to get involved. How can we help? And they did. So it's always been a very powerful thing, and we always led with education. We believe that an informed community is a powerful community. And we said that from day one, and we still repeat it today. An informed community is a powerful community. And we also believe with that this community should be respected, their voice should be heard, and with that power, we can direct this cannabis industry instead of simply being directed by it. We are the people that make the industry what it is, and we are the battery packs. So it's important to hear everyone's sort of perspective and have a place where you can be heard, and we think we do that here at LEAFSTYLE. And as I think about, as I look out in the audience and see different faces, when we started here in this backyard, there was a young woman that we met. And she left quite an impression on me, and I think just about anybody that came in contact with her. I knew I was going to connect with her from the jump when she told me she loved cannabis and Tupac. It was on. And that woman was Jenny Perdomo, aka Sugar Mom. Unfortunately, Jenny passed Friday. Wow. A fight for cancer, against cancer. She succumbed on Friday, and it's incredible that we're now here today. And if you have the opportunity to hear the stories that were playing when you walked in, you may not have noticed. There is a LEAFSTYLE story that we have going. That is all voices of women that make up this cannabis community. And I asked different people that I knew, can you please provide your narrative, how your relationship with cannabis started? I asked Jenny, she replied in the next day. And it's so powerful. And one of the things she said in there that I always loved was, she is a marvelous plant. And I cannot wait until she is freed all over the world. Yeah. So, in her honor, we've had a artist, a very talented artist by the name of Buck. He created an incredible vest, an incredible piece that exemplifies a lot of things that Jenny stood for and fought for, and that's really freeing this cannabis plant, freeing the people, freeing the culture, and freeing the planet, right? And so we're doing a silent auction today, guys. Get involved. All the proceeds will go to her family. We hope to, just an acknowledgement, just know how much she's meant to so many people in the Florida cannabis community, and just salute her and say, rest in power, Jenny. And I know Kim Rivers here, to the left of me, she definitely wanted to say a few words in regards to Jenny.
Thank you so much. And so, I'm sure y'all know if you knew Jenny. Jenny was hard, right? When you met Jenny, you knew that just her soul smiles is the best way that I've always described her, is that she just exuded positivity and light, and we were so blessed to have her as part of our Trulieve family for so long. And it's been a pretty hard week, to be honest with you, on the team. So, the two smiling faces that you see behind the counter here, just, give them a little extra love, because we're all doing our best to make sure that we're continuing her legacy. And I know that she would be so happy that we're all here together tonight. This would make her smile. And, to everyone out there who I believe takes this moment as a personal challenge to continue, not light, we stand with you, I stand with you, and just thank you all for everything that you do and continue to do for this industry. We will, and I will absolutely continue her mission and continue her legacy. And I know that she's with us and she's here, and appreciate you all for taking the moment to recognize her and for what she's contributed and will continue to contribute to this community. So thank you.
Thank you for those words, Kim. We're going to get the panel started. I wanted to properly introduce myself as well. If you don't know, my name is Juma, and I'm one of the co-founders of LEAFSTYLE, and I will be one of the hosts today. To my far left, to introduce my co-host today, Dr. Sophia Lynn. Say a few words, Doctor.
Gladly. I had the pleasure of being invited to join LEAFSTYLE for season 4, and we have created an awesome season with amazing guests, and we've learned so much in this process, personally, professionally, built new friendships and relationships. So I'm proud to be here. I am one of the premier cannabis physicians in South Florida, and I practice throughout the state and recently licensed in California and Georgia as well. I am an emergency medicine trained and certified physician, and I practice at a few hospitals in South Miami. So if you need anything at all, my handle is Ask Dr. Lynn. Please feel free to DM questions. You feel free to email me. Always available to help our patients, to answer any information about knowledge regarding cannabis, regarding life in general. But this platform today is extremely special to me, and I'm just happy to be here and join with the both of you and Juma. And I gotta say, this is an amazing activation, and we hope all of your senses are awakened, and we hope that you are inspired by all the infusions today.
And we appreciate those words, definitely. Again, it's interesting to see as we've sort of evolved and grown, the plant has evolved and grown as well, and that pun intended, right? And one of the things that I think is interesting about this evening, when we have Kim Rivers here, CEO of Trulieve, and Redman, the co-founder of the National Cannabis Party. Get that up, I'm not even gonna try. But, I think those are two incredible, significant achievements. Trulieve is a market value over $5 billion company. If not,
Depends on the day.
Depends on the day. When you're up, you're up. In the United States, definitely the biggest legal cannabis company in the world, Kim? Maybe close? Okay, yeah, okay, we're not going to get into that. But, so, we think those are two incredible achievements, just legal cannabis. market value $5 billion. Then compared to a national political party, a federally certified national political party, National Cannabis Party. No, you have to appreciate what that is and what that means to cannabis and the plant and the evolving of the plant and the growing of this plant. So again, we think this is a great sort of discussion we can have and sort of touch on some of these points. And so, Dr. Lynn, please begin.
Gladly. We're going to keep it short and sweet, get to the point, and make sure we also give our audience time to ask a few questions. So let's reiterate that. We have a marriage between cannabis and politics and business, right? So we want to really use our platform to explore all of those options. We want to get right into it with Redman. Why do you believe the cannabis community needs a National Cannabis Party? I want you to speak to that, because when we were preparing for your season 1 episode, which is launching soon, and you'll be able to take a look at it on all of our platforms, we were like, man, what is Redman's involvement in cannabis today? What is Redman's involvement in cannabis? Like, why did he go political instead of doing the typical strain or typical, partnering with other industries that are already affiliated in cannabis? Why did he go in the political aspect? What was his journey? What was his purpose in choosing that, intentionally choosing to help create and co-found the National Cannabis Party? So it was really poignant to us that we wanted to find out a little bit more about that. And question being, why do you believe it's necessary, and what do you hope to accomplish with NCP?
Okay, I got my phone too in my notes too. I had to write down my pinpoints. I'm not used to being on the panel. First off, you never seen a Redman product or a strain or vape pen or not even a rolling paper. I believe God was saving me for the bigger picture. And I became a purpose chaser instead of a paper chaser. So I was chasing the purpose and the fabric of this cannabis industry. I guess that's because I'm here. I never made one dime. I've been offered millions and all types of money to support and endorse other cannabis brands, but I never did it. I don't know why, because I definitely needed that paper. Big facts. But I don't know. God just had me here for a bigger picture, to connect with my team, to circulate with the FEC-approved National Cannabis Party. And why do we need a cannabis party, especially now? Because we have no umbrella. We have no umbrella that's bridging the gap between cannabis and the people. We have no umbrella that the people of the plant can state their claims and issues to. Like the Democratic Party, if you're a Democrat, you can state your claim and issue about the effectiveness in your neighborhood and what's going on in your community, and you are able to speak as a unit to make a change, make a difference, to create opportunities. Republican Party, the same thing. If you're a Republican, you can state your claim and issue to make a difference, to create opportunity and change. The cannabis industry is $1 billion industry, bottom line. And it is political, no matter how much we want to look around it. And it has rules and regulations and laws. But it don't have an umbrella that the people can claim issues about the taintedness of this industry. So that's where NCP steps in. We're about mending the fabric of this industry, about the inequalities of it, the lack of opportunities in it, and the lack of education about cannabis. Now, the second part of your question is the accomplishments that we hope to achieve. We don't hope to achieve, we will achieve it.
That's right.
Besides creating opportunities and change and educating people about cannabis and the business of it, here's 3 of my favorites. 1, everyone be set free that's been incarcerated for this cannabis plant.
Numero uno.
Numero uno.
That's one. That's going to be one. And two. We are FEC approved platform. We want to challenge the government on why they have a patent on a plant that grows from the earth. That's a God's gift to the planet, a God's gift to the people. We want to challenge that. Why does the government has a patent on a plant? And we're able to challenge that. We have the research to challenge that. And three, and I think we can all agree, finally taking cannabis off of Schedule 1.
Right.
Those are three things. These are we have a list of things we want to conquer far as a unit at NCP, but these are three of my favorites, and I can't wait till it happens.
Beautiful.
Right. And comparing that political space juxtaposed to the business of cannabis. Politics and business are cornerstones of American society, American industry. Where do you see especially the size of Trulieve, what does this say about the growth, the maturation of cannabis, that a legal cannabis company could have this sort of growth? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how significant is this to you in your eyes?
So I think that when you rewind, Trulieve started not that long ago, right? We started in 2015 with 10 people. Literally, my office was a conference room table in the grow. I helped water the plants and make the capsules, and I was really bad at shipping, really bad. I messed up the orders all the time. So logistics is not my thing. But to be able to have an opportunity to grow a company or a business from 10 people to now we employ 8,500, right, across 11 states, it's a huge opportunity for sure. But the reality is that this industry is just getting started. It's in its infancy. And the opportunity is vast and wide, and the ecosystem has room for a lot of different players from a lot of different, there's a lot of different models out there and a lot of different ways to win. And I think that it's amazing, right? When I take a minute to think about how far we've come, I think that's important to celebrate the victories, right, along the way, especially as a female entrepreneur, and the way we've built Trulieve, which I can get into, and the values that we have at Trulieve in terms of where we choose to invest, how we choose to go into communities, et cetera. But, I think that this industry is in its early days. So when I think about on a scale of 1 to 10, I don't even know that we're on the scale yet, to be completely honest with you. When we look at the size of the industry, let's just take Florida, for example. People ask me that all the time. Oh, you've got so many stores in Florida. I'm like, listen, you don't understand. Right now, Florida has 21 million people here, residents. Forget about tourism, y'all. There's 130 million people that come to Florida every year. Okay? We only have 600,000 patients on the registry. There is a lot. It's a big old world out there. There's a lot of business to be done in Florida. There's a lot of room in Florida. There should be a lot of room in Florida. And I think that that's the story for a lot of these markets. And so we're in early days. I think that, which we'll probably get into, where we sit is I'm an entrepreneur at heart. There needs to be room in this industry for entrepreneurs. Trulieve's not the first and last and only by any stretch. There's plenty of room, and there should be plenty of room. And so I think it's amazing what we've done, what other companies have done, but we're in early days.
Absolutely. And it's amazing. Did you hear that? 2015. Congratulations to that. That's a lot of hard work, obviously. So absolutely. Redman, so sort of to follow up from that, your National Cannabis Party. When people hear sometimes politics and cannabis, they may be a little taken back, right? How, especially with I think there is a trust issue maybe in politics. Joe, how is the NCP, the National Cannabis Party, how are they looking to sort of rebuild that trust so people can actually have sort of a belief in their political voice?
Well, it all starts from the role of the political sphere that you guys had. That was a question, part of y'all question, right? Let's just call it what it is, the politicians. The politicians just need to stand by their word and do what they say they're going to do. You know, they should stand on their word before they get voted in and follow up on the actions. At the end of the day, they the ones that should be building an effective expungement clinic. They the ones that should be having a thorough social equity program. They should be building that. They should be passing a bill to have an effective industry that's going to last a long time for the cannabis people, for the people in cannabis. They should be building this. Or better yet, why don't we just do this? Just speaking on layman's terms, because I like to just be free with it. Why don't we just put the politicians behind bars that has something to do with cannabis, that has say-so on cannabis? Why don't we put them behind bars for 2 to 5 years, and while we out here smelling the sweet taste of freedom, they can be inside smelling ass and feet. Ass and feet and tension and stress. And let them be behind bars for a plant that's been decriminalized and legalized, and see how that feel. Or let them have a medical issue that's, and let them have a serious medical issue where they're using over-the-counter drugs that's deteriorating their insides, and they have to resort to cannabis because it's a better plan for them, and now they have to use cannabis for medical use. Or how about them trading the place of a minority that's been saving their money to get a license, and the only thing they get for $250,000 is an application that only secures them out of 1 out of 10% chance of winning, and don't even win, they lose. That feeling, let them try that. Or how about some of these politicians living in these affected neighborhoods that's been affected by war on drugs, around poverty and violence, and actually sending their kids to school with a weak educational system, to see how that digests. The only way they're going to really get the picture if they really research and listen, and then they can make a real effective change on what's really going on. They can really get a closer feel on what we're feeling. It's all about the people in the plant. Now, how NCP planning on getting that trust, as you say. What was the question? The trust?
To regain the trust.
To regain the trust. Okay. We hold these people accountable. We make every politician, every political figure, every political platform that has say-so on cannabis, every dispensary, every cannabis business that tries to implement social programs for the people but never follow up, we make them accountable. We have press, we have magazines, we have social media, we have radio. We are 110,000 people strong and counting right now. And when it comes to the fabric of this industry, we will not stop until it's treated correctly. And that's what NCP is about. Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. I'm not used to being on the panel, so sorry if I'm just a little bit forward and transparent.
Speak your truth.
All right.
Speak your truth. 110 million.
All right. All right.
It's 110 million.
Well, we're 110 million in industry, but NCP we're about 100 Yeah. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. This is 110 million people industry, cannabis, but NCP we about 100 grand, right? Okay.
Love the passion, love the honesty, love the truth.
Absolutely.
That we're speaking tonight, and that's what LEAFSTYLE is all about. One of the things we really wanted to find out, Kim, do you think that the legal cannabis industry has a responsibility to the cannabis community in general? Do you think that is even their responsibility to take?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I mean, the reality is that we wouldn't have a business, I wouldn't have a business, I wouldn't be here if it were not for the work and the passion of the advocate community of people way before me, right? And that are still working hard. I mean, they're paving the way for businesses to exist, right? If folks, yes is the answer. And I mean, I think that, and it's difficult because I find myself often not in line. So it's weird sometimes being like the industry person, to be honest with you, because the way that we've approached business, which a lot of folks may not even know, we choose to invest in majority minority communities. We are the number one employer of majority minority and communities that have been impacted all across the country. So when we build cultivation facilities, when we build production facilities, when we invest in communities, we are looking to make a difference and from that level up. I think that accountability is a huge thing. I think we have to walk the walk and not just talk the talk, which means holding ourselves accountable from the jump. And so what do I mean by that? I mean that when we talk about creating opportunities, when we talk about diversity, what does our organization look like? How are we creating opportunities from within, not just at low-level employment opportunities, but throughout leadership? What does my leadership team look like? What does my board look like? I mean, we just got to a point, which y'all, it's hard out there, I'm just going to tell you. I mean, as a person who's now running a public company, I go to investor conferences and I'm the only woman. Forget about forget about any other diversity metrics that are present. I'm the blonde female and it's like, oh my God, you're so diverse. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous. And so we have to demonstrate leadership from within first. And so we do that by having actual metrics that we hold ourselves accountable for. My board just became 50% women, which I think is a huge initial step. We just released our first ESG report, which holds ourselves accountable, which measures what exactly we're going to do, both environmentally as well as social initiatives. But then externally, what do we do externally? Expungement clinics. We've been responsible for about 1,000 people changing their lives over the last year by having expungement clinics across states that we operate in. We partner with about 125, I think at this point, different grassroots organizations, because the reality is that it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. You have to have people that are on the ground, that are actually talking to people, and then it's our responsibility to empower them to do more. So we try, is what I can tell you. Do we always get it perfect? Absolutely not. Do we try to get better every day? Absolutely. And I think that the biggest thing is that we are attempting to make it easier for additional folks to get into the industry. So we partner with a group called Minorities for Medical Marijuana, who you guys may know. They hold licensing clinics, to your point, across the country to help educate folks so that when they do make that application, maybe they're doing it the right way so that they have a better opportunity to actually get selected, as opposed to just putting an application in and wasting their hard-earned money and not having an opportunity to get selected. I think one of the biggest challenges that we have right now is the lack of funding that happens in terms of a what next scenario. So okay, somebody gets the application, they go to open their doors, then what happens? The problem that we have in this country, one of the many problems, is that there's SBA funding available for all kinds of businesses in this country, small businesses in this country, for women and minorities. Unfortunately, cannabis doesn't qualify. Cannabis doesn't qualify because it's Schedule 1. Well, guess what? It's really easy to make that not the case and to have an exception there and to make that funding available. And that's billions of dollars, okay? So what I'm telling you is that as one company, we can do certain things, but we can hopefully help pull bigger levers that matter. Because, $1 million here, $2 million there, yeah, that's something, but we need radical change that's going to matter and that is sustainable. And the only way to do that is by chipping away at federal policy that is going to actually have impact. And I'm preaching it all I can. I'm, investing, and we're investing in those types of conversations at a national scale in hopes that over time we can use our platform that we're blessed to have and that we've worked hard to create to help this ecosystem develop in the way that it needs to develop. Because guess what, y'all? I am not of the belief that it's, only Trulieve. Y'all know Cisco, they're a food provider. Okay, guess what? Cisco provides ingredients for mom and pop restaurants across this country. There's ways for small businesses, medium-sized businesses, big businesses to all coexist together. And I truly, truly believe that that is what we need to be working to create for cannabis. And it's not a one-size-fits-all, and it's not a one versus another. So that's what I've been working on. Hopefully that answers your question. We're not perfect. We are, and we do try to make a difference. And I am absolutely open that if anyone has suggestions, ideas, thoughts, etc., hit me up, and we'd love to talk to you. Because again, it's together we achieve more. So,
Absolutely, well said.
That's why we need the National Cannabis Party. That's why we need it.
I think everyone is working together and are of like mind and spirit with moving the industry forward. I can speak personally as a provider, as a physician in South Florida. I honestly recommend all my patients start with Trulieve Dispensary, not only for the quality product, but for the education. The education that they provide for patients is outstanding. It's supreme above all of the other MMTCs in Florida at this time. Their knowledge for the bud tenders, their outreach for the community, it's definitely one that is recognized and appreciated as one of the providers down here. And you'll hear that same feedback from all of my patients. So
thank you.
I know you keep saying you're trying, you're not perfect, but you're doing a great job.
Thanks.
All right.
But we would be remiss not to acknowledge a woman CEO, because as you mentioned in these board meetings and these various panels and groups you're in, you look to your left and you look to your right, what do you see?
Bunch of old white dudes.
So
No offense.
Yeah. So we must acknowledge that women are the number one of the two gender sexes consumers of cannabis. Exactly. Wow. Right. And they're not represented in no ways near those numbers. So we must acknowledge that and salute that. That's not easy, and we salute you there.
Thank you.
Shout out to the Canna Moms in the building. All the Canna Moms.
Canna Moms.
But I'm sorry. Yeah, Canna Moms. One more time, Canna Moms. And we spoke on this a little bit, but we really want to know sort of Trulieve's perspective, your perspective on, which I consider, which I think Redman even touched on this, is the number one issue in the cannabis community is bringing the people home, freeing the people that have been criminalized for cannabis. And I just want to know the position for Trulieve on pardons and clemency, especially in the state of Florida, but nationwide, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm completely aligned with Redman and your top three, and would put them in that order. So, no one should be behind bars for the plant. I mean, that's ridiculous. And again, like I said, I mean, we support, the Last Prisoner Project pretty significantly, and that's a significant partner for us. We do events with them. You'll see, and by the way, y'all, just so you know, when you see Trulieve and you see that we're doing something, so as an example, we'll do like a product highlight or something, and it's in support of Last Prisoner Project, that actually matters, and that goes to the Last Prisoner Project. We match it plus. So, and we don't always do a great job of we're not like big check people, like the big checks with the picture. We don't necessarily do that. But, just know that, I mean, they are a significant partner for us. And, we think that organization does a great job of fighting to bring people home. And that's absolutely a priority and should be a priority. And I think that it's a travesty that we're able to do what we do and that people are behind bars for doing the same damn thing. It's ridiculous. So
Absolutely, absolutely. And speaking on that, I would love to acknowledge the longest serving cannabis prisoner in the United States. Richard DeLisi's in the back. Wave your hand, please, Richard. This man served over 40 years in prison for the same thing that people are making billions of dollars on today. So again, this plant, the maturation of the plant, I think it says volumes to have him here today, and at the same time have this panel with a political party and a multi-billion-dollar company that's thriving. So again, connecting the community, making sure all the voices are heard, I think it's important. Absolutely. And for Redman, political party, the first thing when I hear political party, especially national political party, where's the president?
President right there. President.
So what are we seeing? 2024, can we expect a president running on behalf of the National Cannabis Party?
Is that kind of a what's next for NCP? Because I don't think that's next.
That's not next.
Well, it's put it this way. What's next for NCP, like far as from the years to come and starting now, will, just having the power to help change and enforce laws and regulations for the empowerment of the people of the plant. That's what we all about, really, is about the plant and the people, making that connection. Also leaving a big footprint in the social equity and equality that plagues our industry. I mean, we can I be honest? We throw that word around so much, right? Social equity. Social equity. Everyone throws that around. You say social equity in your dispensary, and you feel that you're doing something. Okay, we promoted social equity. We done. Okay, we done contributed. We're done. Like, what is social equity? Like, I really looked it up, and the meaning in short terms of what I got out of it is a social policy for justice, for inequalities, to ensure everyone in a community has access to the same opportunity and outcomes. Basically, that's what it is. I like the way my mic sound right now. Thank you. Whatever you're doing, keep it that way. If that's the definition, then what platform do we have to make sure everyone is accountable doing it? And that's, like I said, where NCP steps in. Now we're talking about putting a president in place. We rather be more concerned of the people in the plant right now. We have a long way of justice for these people in the plant before we even think about putting a president in the chair, even though we have that kind of fabric to do it right now. But we are more concerned on the people in the plant. And we are far from $1 billion industry, company. We're not even a $100,000 company. We're not even $1,000 company. We all out here on our money, our own money. We've been on our own money for the last 7 years. But we have a platform that can make a difference. So after I say the comfortability of the people in the plant is dealt with, then maybe we could put someone in a chair to be president. And only if that person understands the fabric of this cannabis industry, the ups and downs, the pros and the cons, then we would talk about putting the president in the chair. But right now for 2024, we're good on that.
Understood loud and clear. And I love that because, as we know, the power is done locally anyway.
Absolutely.
That's where the power lies.
we should, since we're on, sorry to hijack for a moment, but since we're on politics, so I would encourage everyone to sign the petition for home grow, which is in the back. I'm sure everybody here probably already has, but there is petitions in the back or at any of your Trulieve stores. Please sign it, return it, because that is a big step for this state. That would be huge, y'all, for this state, for Florida, to free the plant in a serious way.
Absolutely.
For home grow. So please, 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 y'all, because I'm just letting y'all know, we got to get mobilized here, because it's it's an uphill battle, and there are a lot of signatures that are needed. So this isn't just like a one-night thing. This is also like a please come help thing. So, okay.
You got my vote. I'm signing it.
Yeah.
I'm signing.
And they have a deadline by the end of the year, so super
yeah.
important timing. Please grab an application here. Just needs a quick signature if you support every individual person in this room being allowed the option to grow your own plant within your home.
Yay.
So that's the goal.
And Jersey need to do the same thing. We're not allowed to grow yet. Yes, it's all around. We need this. That's why we need the National Cannabis Party.
We want to bring this to a close. We want to mention some of the accomplishments with Trulieve, with over 100 stores just in the state of Florida alone, and the acquisition of Harvest Company. There's over 155 stores nationwide in 11 states. What's next for Trulieve? What's some of the goals for 2022? What can we anticipate and look forward to seeing?
I mean, I'd like to take a nap,
I know,
but
that's
no, you know, it's, I mean, a little bit.
Let's give her some coffee or something,
right?
some edible up here, sativa edible or
yes,
something.
sativa edible. I'll be up all night. No, I mean, I would just tell you that we are not slowing down. We have not slowed down. You know, we are certainly continuing to integrate. I mean, that's a big. We doubled our company size in 5 months. So getting all of that figured out is a big job, and that's certainly something that we're focused on. We're also continuing to focus on building out the appropriate way. So we just launched in West Virginia, which y'all, I know we don't really talk about West Virginia. They're a little bit forgotten. But y'all, in West Virginia, their program started at the same time as Florida, and we just opened the first store there. That's crazy, okay? I mean, these people have been waiting 6 years for cannabis access in West Virginia. And so that's really exciting. And I think that there are so many stories in states like that that go kind of forgotten because it's not a hot topic, I guess, if that makes sense. And we were talking a little bit about that, or hot market, right? And I think that, you know, truly we got our start in Florida. It was on the application, and I know because I helped write it, that our number one mission was to truly provide access to cannabis for folks, true access, okay? Because a big term in the industry is addressable market. And what that means is a company puts one store in California and then they say that they can serve the entire state of California. That's BS. You know it and I know it. So the question is, how can we truly provide access? What that means is that if you want to go and leave your house and go and get a joint or go and get that you can do that, and that it's easy and it's accessible, because one of the corporate's role, one of my roles, is to make this so it's not a scary thing anymore. So politicians, right, are faced with it every day. They know someone who is benefiting from the plant. Their mother, their sister, their father, whoever, right? They know someone who's had a positive experience with the plant in a legal way, and they realize, oh my God, the sky's not falling. This person actually is healing themselves, and it's all okay. So maybe I don't need to be so scared whenever this comes up again and there's an expansion conversation or a legalization conversation or a home grow conversation, because this works for people. And so that's part of our core mission, is true access. And in a way that, again, we're bringing cannabis not just to the big markets like Miami, which we love, but also to the rural areas and to places where it's maybe forgotten by some folks. And so, I mean, we got our start in Tallahassee, Florida, right? We have stores in the Panhandle. We have stores in, you know, up and down the middle part of Florida, which is a lot of swamp and highway. Because we do think it's important to actually bring it to the people. And so we're going to be doing more of that. It's going to be, you know, another day and more stores and more products and innovations and R&D and trying to push the science and try to push the education and make sure that we're bringing the best products possible to people in where they are and meeting people where they are with the healing power of the plant.
I love it.
Yay.
Thank you both. Thank you. This is concluding panel 1, the maturation of cannabis. We want to enjoy and welcome and thank all of the newcomers that just came in. Please take advantage of all the activations going on. We have food in the back, pre-rolls, drinks. Please enjoy the experience tonight, because that's what LEAFSTYLE is inviting you into. We're inviting you into this beautiful home, into this space, so you can take advantage of this experience freely, mingle with others. We cannot thank enough Kim Rivers, Redman, Juma. Amazing first panel. Our next one will start at 8 o'clock.
Can I say something before we get out of here?
Yes.
I just want everybody to understand, we have the Republican Party, Democratic Party, now we have National Cannabis Party. And just to let you guys know, like, we're not in competition with anyone. We're not a plant-based, oil-based, CBD-based platform. We're strictly on the politics and the fabric of this cannabis industry. That's it. So we're not in competition. If you fuck with us, we're not in competition or jeopardizing any way financially to your business. We want to help build a stronger industry. Because these functions is great, like the NJ Biz, Halls of Flowers, all the functions that we go to, we meet, we chop it up, we talk shit, we see each other product, but after that, we all go home with the same perspective of our business and making money. And like I said, we're not $1 billion business. We're not even $100,000 business. We're just strictly here because we really believe in this cannabis industry. And our president here, which is a woman of culture, right here, Safita, my sister, she is a canna mom, and she has an amazing story which she's going to be talking about later. But it's people like her, and it's people that's surviving medically on cannabis is what we're about, and the structure of cannabis. So please, the only way that we can, and we don't know it all. We don't have all the answers. We don't have all the answers. So if you can help us put paint where it ain't, please join us. Please join us. We're open arms, and you can join us at www.nationalcannabisparty.org. That's www.nationalcannabisparty.org, and join us and let's hear your story. Let's hear what you can bring to the table. Because it's power in the people, and it's power in numbers. And we would love to help you guys here at LEAFSTYLE, whatever you need. Let us be the guys that do the dirty work. We know a lot of dispensaries out there.
Like dirty work too.
Yeah, exactly. we know a lot of dispensaries and business out there just don't have the right resources to make effective plans and, on social equality and the injustice that's going on in this industry. Let's talk about it. Let us be the people that help you, because that's what we're about. Like I said, we are not in any way jeopardizing the financial course of your business, because we are not a plant-based, oil-based, CBD or anything. We are strictly about the politics of this industry and the fabric of this industry. And thank you for fucking having me. Hold on. Also, before I leave out of here, Montel Williams, which is my uncle, he just joined NCP. He is the chairman of NCP right now. So that's the level we at right now. You always know. Remember, take this home with you. New levels, new devils. That's how it goes.
And hold on. I just want to add one more thing to this is, as we talk about the politics and the business side, and we're seeing this, I'm really intrigued to talk to you guys in another 5 years and see where this is going, because Kim said it's not even number one. Right. It's not on the scale yet. It's not on the scale yet.
She's right.
So I really appreciate it. I thank you, and I think it speaks to something that we try to do here, have all voices here. This is not a fight against one perspective, other perspective. We all have a voice, and I think we all can be heard.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.